Sanjay Bhakta and a team. They used to create the story about Nepal. And they tell the story in such a way that people get, oh. That time I realized also, like, the hoteliers can be a better travel agent because our eye to detail is so in depth. Then I started from there. I worked with Kony for almost, I think, 8 years. Okay, tourist wants to come to Nepal. If the kind of demand we have in international market, the supply we have is still less. But we are lacking big time in the chain of distribution. Because we don't have a good connectivity, the airfare for Nepal is always high. Okay. So for this we can do two things. Number one is always priority is our digital carrier. If they can be very strong, we can do much better.
Hello and welcome once again back to nepaltraveler.com and the Nepal Travel Trade Talk. We're back with a new season, and this time joining me is Mr. Sanjay Mathema, who's been a well-experienced person. He's been in the industry, in the travel trade, he's worked in the tourism industry, and he's also with the PATA, with a number of travel associations. So it'll be interesting to have a chat with him and see what his views are on today. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much.
So maybe to start with, how did you begin your journey in tourism and why tourism?
That's very interesting because I think like if you want to be in tourism, you should love traveling. In my childhood time, my dad used to run an industry factory. See, he used to construct all the suspended bridges and the dams. So that time I got opportunity to travel with him. Throughout the Nepal. That time, this suspended bridges was one of the most convenient way of traveling, connecting people. So that time I traveled a lot. So from there, I think I got a love for traveling. This is how I started. When I finished my MBA, I came to Nepal. I was supposed to join my dad's business. I still remember that. And that time, this project was going on at the Sangila Hotel in Pokhara. So I used to go with him, meet the people. That time, by fluke, it was not planned. I was not trying to travel, join the travel business. I don't know about tourism, how this to work. Then I met a person called Mr. Utpal Gupta. He is the one man behind the all Sangila brain, So we have been interacting with him. He's been telling his stories about the journey of hotel, how he came to Nepal. And those people, that time, they had a very good team. There was Mr. W. Bhagwat, Utpal Gupta and a team. They used to create the story about Nepal. And they tell the story in such a way that people get, oh, what is this? So that's how I get interested. And they offered me a job in Sangila. At that time, they're starting the marketing department at the Sangila. So I think we were the first one to join them. This is how it started. That's in 96, September 22nd. I still remember that day. That's how it started.
And from the Shangri-La, which was a hospitality hotel marketing, you've moved on and you've gone to travels, you've gone to tours. So how has that journey been, and anything that you remember you want to share with us about?
Yeah, in between, while working with the hotel, I was doing quite well. Then one day I realized that I think without the hotel management certificate, the technical course, I'll not be able to be a GM. So I thought I'll go for the course. Then I left the job, I took a break, went to Austria, Salzburg. I did my course over there. That time, I thought, what am I doing? The people over there, they know how to market the destination so well. If you look at Europe, it's beautiful. But they know how to market small things. Like Mozart, okay, that's one of the very well-known name in musical industry. but they have done very well on marketing. And I finished my course. I got a job at a very good hotel. I was supposed to stay over there. That time I thought, okay, I think I can market my country better. So I should come back to my own country and give my whatever I can do for my country. So that's why I came back. Again, I joined hotel. After a few years, I realized that I think, why am I selling only hotel? I think because because the Sangla Hotel, that time we have two hotels, Kathmandu and Pokhara. So I used to work like a travel agency that time only, because sending the clients between two hotels, coordinating with them, organizing all the tours. Then I got opportunity to join Kony. That time, that is I think 2002, when the Kony took over Sita in India, and they also, because Sita Nepal also part of Kony. So they offered me a job, saying, okay, why don't you take over Nepal office? Because they want to bring the corporate culture into Nepal. If you look at the travel trade that time, the people working in the travel trade, they were not qualified. I'm not saying they're bad, but could be much better, compared to the standard which they're operating. They're finding challenges to bring that quality in Nepal. So I came in. Then I started from there. That time I realized also, the hoteliers can be a better travel agent because our eye to detail is so in depth. Then I started from there. I worked with Kony for almost, I think, 8 years. That time I've seen the growth of tourism, the organized way of bringing tourists into Nepal, with that quality. So that's how I started.
And presently, your organization, tell us how that started and what is it that you do there with them?
This, okay. Always in my mind, back in my mind, and I had always had planned to have my own travel company. So they were always there. So after working with this company and getting exposure of international travel and marketing all over the world, so I think enough time has come for us to start my company too. So we have started a company in Nepal that time. My partner is God's organization, so our company name is also Geo Travels. We call it Geo Travels. It's easy to say Go Travels, but normally we say Geo Travels. That's how we started from there.
And how is that agency doing? What are you doing at the moment? What kind of markets and stuff are you working with?
We try to bring a similar way of working, getting business from all over the world. So we have ventured into the multiple countries from there. Very similar way of how the Kony used to work before. So we have tie-up with many European countries, America, South America, Japan, Korea. So we have gone everywhere, Australia. And that journey was very challenging, very interesting. It was very tough for us to get into those segments, but we managed to sail through very well. I think it's because of the knowledge, because of the exposure also. It really helped me to create a similar kind of business coming to Nepal. You must be experiencing the same thing, like Nepal, okay, see, it's such a beautiful country. We have everything. I think we are one of the most God-gifted country in the world. But the only issue with us is we don't know how to market ourselves in international market. Because nowadays, see, the competition is destination to destination, okay? If you compare with Nepal, with our surrounding country, we're still much behind. How to get into those segments? So for that, I think, I still believe the only Nepalese can sell Nepal well. We don't need to depend on other partners, Like Nepal was dominantly selling via Indian partners because Indian, they have a huge exposure to international market, which we don't have. It's a fact. Still, we are lacking there. And because of my exposure, I get the chance to, because I know them, to get into those segments, introduce ourselves directly into the market, source market, was much easier for me. So from there, we have really successful getting business from all over the world.
So has this changed over the years? Because India market was always the main destination, and the add-on was Tibet or Nepal or Bhutan. But have we, as a destination, managed to start doing our direct marketing, and is that paying back?
I think that's the only way where we can actually get what we deserve. Okay, always selling like an extension destination will not serve our purpose because we can do much better. And this is what we have. We don't have to depend on others to get what we want to get. But having said so, okay, because we don't have so much of capacity and resources to go everywhere. So we have to depend on, to some extent, to our partners. But eventually, I think we have to get into our source market directly by us. And fortunately, like it's happening also. I think I can see the change after 99. There are many Nepalese entrepreneurs, the tourism experts, start going to the market directly. Before, there's only few names used to go there. Now many. But I think we should be prepared also to get into those segments, to go directly. Because once you go directly to the market, then there's no buffer zone. Okay, this is you and destination and the suppliers. The once a supplier, our main source market, is convinced to work with you, they'll work with you. Unless until we don't give that exposure, that confidence to them, they'll not come to direct to us because they will not take a risk. Because in a European market, other markets, the travel laws are very strict, and we have to abide by that. So frankly, how many are we ready to adopt that policy? Are we doing that? Who are monitoring us? If somebody defaults, who will get penalized? There are many cases, because of that, like people don't trust us still 100%. Especially post-COVID, now things have changed again. I think this is a very good opportunity for all of us to rebuild, restart, and get in the market prepared. Time has come. But the only thing is we need to be prepared.
You're also on the executive committee of PATA. So, as a tour operator, bringing in travelers, what do you see as the main challenges, even when travelers do come to Nepal? What does the destination prove as a challenge?
I think, the travelers, they love Nepal. Okay, the best part of us is, number one is we are God gifted by all the natural resources, beauties, diversity. The people is our main asset. Okay, where can you find people like smiling face wherever you go? And the friendliness, the helpfulness, trustworthy. Where do you have those kind of people? We have everything. But if we can improve our infrastructures, that will be a big support to grow tourism. Like PATA, we have SCOL, we have NATA, we have all the associations, they are working, doing their best. Collectively, we are giving all the inputs to the authorities, tourism board. But if they follow even the 50% of what we suggested, we could do much better. Right now, okay, post-COVID, luckily, we recovered very fast. We are doing very well. But still, we are suffering with the infrastructure, especially road connectivity. That's what I think the downside of the current scenario for the tourism. But the best part of this time is the good properties are coming into Nepal, especially the international chain hotels. Whenever, let's just give you an example of India when they started, they get a boost in tourism because of the good quality properties. Okay, Nepal was always lacking those infrastructures. Right now we have those chain coming in, where they are also helping us to get Nepal promoted in their circle, and they are doing very well. I think time has come for us to take advantage of those strength of those chains work hand in hand and promote our destination in a right way.
It's often said that the private sector leads and the infrastructure, all these hotels, etc., is all coming from the private sector. Where the problem starts is that the government infrastructure doesn't match. So, I mean, what do you think at the moment in terms of the airport? Now we are having some construction work going on at the airport, right in the peak season. How badly has that affected? What is the feedback you're getting from your groups, etc.?
This has impacted us very adversely, I would say, because this is the second season after COVID, which was very crucial for, I think, our trade. And people are ready to come to Nepal. We had a very good booking this year. Compared to last year, we had more than 40% booking this year. But eventually, many of them have cancelled, not 100%, but maybe 30% has cancelled so far. And just because of the demand and supply and the seat availability, we have already hold more than 800 seats during the season collectively, but we could sold only, I think, half of that. That's so far. We have seats, we have purchased the seats, but there's no seat available, in the aircraft. And the government has given a very good suggestion of using the alternate airport of Vairava, but it's a technically challenge for tourism to operate in that way. So it has affected us adversely, I'd say.
When you look at Bhairava or other destinations, do you think also our destinations infrastructure is developing? One reason many airlines don't want to fly to Bhairava is they say there's not enough infrastructure for international airlines to land there and things. So do you think we're only Kathmandu centric and we've not really developed other areas?
See, we have to go hand in hand, okay? And let's compare with India now. India have multiple international airports, and they have prepared their programs, itineraries in such a way that they can come in from Bombay and they can get out from Delhi. Similarly, to south or east, west, they have multiple airports and multiple way of traveling and itineraries too. But this is one our downside is we are still not able to develop our product in such a way that we can capitalize on those infrastructures. Currently, whatever the programs is running for Nepal is Kathmandu centric because everything is here. And most of our itineraries is around Kathmandu, Pokhara, Chitwan, Nagarkot. This is our main core area for tourists and yes, for the adventure. This is the Everest region, Annapurna region. Those are there. But if you look at practically, everything lies in Kathmandu only. If suppose tomorrow any clients will land in Bhairava, how will we connect? Okay. Suppose if there's a very good road from Bhairava to Chitwan, at least we could start the program from Chitwan and continue. Right now, the road situation is not favorable for us to do that. Secondly, the second thing is okay. Our domestic airlines. I must say I'm so thankful to them. Because of them, we're able to do so well. Over a period of time, all these domestic airlines, they have built up the capacity so well, because of which we are able to move out so many clients in Nepal now. Otherwise, just think what will happen. That's the main challenge we have. I think it will take some time, but in future that may happen when the infrastructure is ready. Then we can modify our itinerary in such a way that we can come in from Vairava and get on to Kathmandu or otherwise, vice versa. We can do that, but we are not ready now.
The international chains that have come, and now subsequently with this airport issue and certain amount of bookings are being cancelled because of airfare being too high. Is there a situation, especially in the Kathmandu Valley, that there's too many rooms now, even with the international, and that there is probably going to be a price war?
Okay, I would take it from other side. If you look at from last 5 years, okay, if you compare number of hotels coming into Nepal, number of room nights, that's also luxury ones coming into Kathmandu in Nepal, the numbers, if you compare that, is growing rapidly. And coming another 5 years, it's going to be, I think, more than that. So that's the supply side. Demand, it's not that there's no demand. Okay, tourist wants to come to Nepal. If the kind of demand we have in international market, the supply we have is still less. But we are lacking big time in the chain of distribution. Okay, so all the hotels, if you look at their average occupancy pattern, I think more than 60 to 7% is fall into this. They have to depend on the travel agencies, tour operators. Now you compare the quality tour operators in Nepal. How many have been come up in that scale? How many are there? Who are there? Are they qualified? Are they have a good team in place? Are they have a good international exposures? Very less. So balance between the supply of the room nights and then the point of distribution still not matching. And whatever this point of sales we have, the tour operators we have, they also have facing challenges to get into the international market and market ourselves directly. So there's a gap. And the main gap for not being able to this point of distribution, the tour operators to grow, is because of qualified manpower. If you do a little survey and just go to the top 50 tour operators' offices and check, do a little survey, not check, survey. So how many are there, the good qualified staff are there? It's a very minimum. And it's because of two reasons. One is, we don't have a good institute where we can produce good tour operators. We have too many hotel management colleges.
Yes.
But where is the tour operator coaching classes of an institute? We are lacking there. Okay, and those who come as a graduate like MBA or they don't want to come and work in the travel companies. They always look for a job in the banks because they pay more. And tour operators are suffering because of that. We don't have because we are still not, if you can say so, recognized as an industry. Our resources is limited. The financial institute, like the banks they don't support this sector to grow. Because of that, we are not able to get into direct market and market ourselves to the level of international operators, and we are not able to compete with them. This is what we are big time lacking for us. So this is what I think we need to really focus into and let this tour operator grow also. The quality ones. Okay. Right now, if you can say so, if you compare the X company and Y company, they both recognized as a travel agencies. So what's the difference? Like us, we really invest into our team, really try to have a good team in place who can really work well, versus a two-man show. We consider to be the same. Unless we are differentiated and recognized, we're not able to market ourselves and go into the market with our full capacity. I think this is what creating some kind of the issues with us. So I would like to suggest, like we are growing the good quality hotels, good change is coming to Nepal. It's a very good news for us. Similarly, if we can also give some emphasis and like some kind of attention to this tour operator segments, which is our 80% source of business for these hotels, then we'll do much better. The main issue for us is also like in India, because I compared with India because they are a neighboring country and we are linked so close. There are so many international operators have already come there, but Nepal they cannot come because of rules and regulations. So because of that, we are not able to bring those exposure for a destination. And I would suggest that, and I think we should focus here too.
But the other area that many tour companies, travel companies have is the AFA component is too high for destination Nepal. And for that, we have a national flag carrier, but what would be your suggestions in terms of managing this part? Because usually the air component is the biggest component for the destination, especially for Nepal.
That is very true. Uh, at the current moment, like when any tour, any clients who like travel to our part of the world, they always compare with the total price they're spending. Okay, so for Nepal, like if you compare with Nepal, India, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, and the Thailand, this region, if you compare the total ticket size for any travelers to travel, Nepal falls into one of the most expensive destinations. So this is also one of the reasons why we are not able to get the good number of tourists. Okay, so because as a destination, Nepal is not that expensive destination. If you really compare apple to apple, the land cost to land cost, Nepal is much reasonable. Just because we don't have a good connectivity, the airfare for Nepal is always high. Okay, so for this we can do two things. Number one is always priority is our national carrier. If they can be very strong, we can do much better. There's an example. Okay, if you take the neighboring country like Bhutan or India, if you look at them, why are doing so well? Because they're so strong with their own carrier, and that's a sustainable development. But for us, because we have limitations, we have to depend on the international other airlines. See, they are all profit-making airlines. Okay, so if we can give them a good number of tourists to come to Nepal, the price will go down. They will increase the number of flights. Because as the demand rises, it will rise supply too. So for us to get a good deal for them is we need to do our marketing well and get good volume of business to all these airlines so that we can be competitive. That's the only thing we can do.
When you talk about marketing, how do you see the marketing of the destination at the moment? And just going to trade fairs, is that good enough? And what do we do at these trade fairs? Are we really making an impression there?
See, I think we are trying to do our best with whatever resources we have, but it is not enough compared to other destinations surrounding by us. Okay, you cannot say I'm doing good. You must say I'm doing better than XYZ. There's always comparison. For us, like for Nepal, when we go for a travel fairs, okay, we do our best on our capacity. But when we go there, the clients will compare. And are we looking interesting for them? Are we really able to attract them? There's a big question mark. I think we should focus into smart marketing and having a good stand in the right location where our visibility is higher. I think that is lacking. And number two is, still we are believing in just going there, meeting there, and distributing your flyers and the magazines, and that's not enough. Because nowadays, see, when you look at purely marketing, there's two things happens. One is the creating demand, which is the push sell. Another is actually selling the product, which is the pull sell. So our selling part is very strong. Our people, our travel trade, my friends, colleagues are really good in selling. But we are not able to generate the demand in the market, which is really lacking. So recently I was traveling in one country. I went to meet once roadshow, and there were almost 22 partners who were there who came to see us. You will be surprised, more than 40% doesn't know where is Nepal. So if they don't know where is Nepal, how will they sell? Say 6 months back, 6-7 months back, I was in Japan. Because post-COVID now things are slowly starting. So I went like a normal sell, okay, meeting my partners and doing the business deal. But post-COVID, even the team has changed. Now, I stayed for 10 days in one city just to teach them how to sell Nepal, how to develop product for Nepal. And I left my daughter in Japan for 3 months. She stayed in 3 months in Japan, going door to door, just doing a training about Nepal. So this is where we are standing right now. So I think our creating demand side is still lacking big time.
We're not doing enough digitally. We are not spreading enough awareness. If someone says they don't know where is Nepal,
See, I would say yes to that because they could have done much better than what they are doing right now. Now we have the very good CEO in place. Deepakji is there, so he's qualified. He understands travel so well. He's a well-known figure. So now they need to go and meet people and create demands, give advertisements in a good TV shows. The exposure need to be there. The exposure is really lacking. You go anywhere, in destination, like our UK is our main source of market. What are you doing in UK? Like France, what are you doing? So we need to create demand there too. So that part is, if we work efficiently, I think no problem for getting business for us.
as a final question, how do you see the coming year, maybe 2025? What do you think will happen for tourism in Nepal? Will it be better?
See, I always believe in our Nepal as a destination. We are really blessed, as I told you again before. We have a great future for tourism in Nepal. I think Nepal, okay, if you talk about Nepal as a whole, the tourism and the hydropower, I think two things is two segments which can bring Nepal to the next level. And for tourism, I'm really hopeful for coming years because now, like I said, one is the good products we have now. We don't have to worry about, okay, we don't have a good hotels available here. Is there. We have good restaurants. And then if you compare the quality of food we have, it's much better than the India in Bhutan. I'm just talking a nearby country only. We are much better. Look at our way of servicing. We are much better. Even though we are not qualified, but still we give from the heart. That's still there. We just need to do a little bit brushing on the quality, good human resources, which is a big time lacking, and good way of organizing the tour companies, getting ready for coming years. Those part I think we need to really focus into, and I think our future is really bright, pretty bright.
I wish you well. I hope this happens for our destination. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet us.
Thank you, Renz. Thanks so much.